From Buffalo Wild Wings on Louise Avenue in Sioux Falls, welcome to Benchwarmers. Today's featured guests are former University of South Dakota basketball star Nicole Seekamp, USD men's basketball head coach Craig Smith, Midco Sports Network's Kelly Stewart, and our host, Midco Sports Network's Tom Neiman.
Hello, welcome to Benchwarmers. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings on Louise Avenue in Sioux Falls in a brilliant panel for our first show of the summer, surrounded by coyotes from the University of South Dakota. We're going to talk a lot of basketball with these guys about the state of hoops at the University of South Dakota. Well, let's start quick with the NBA Finals, and it's 2-0 as we sit here with Game 3 coming up on Wednesday. Golden State has blasted Cleveland twice. Have you been paying attention, Stuart, or has this been hard to watch?
I mean, I feel like you're calling me out a little bit.
I am.
I've been paying attention a little bit. I'm a Warriors fan. I just like how they play, but also a big KD fan. So I am definitely going to pay a little more attention, but they're up 2-0, so I'm happy.
Well, it seems like it's not even fair with Durant, that now that they've added Durant, and it looks like they're unbeatable. What do you think?
Well, Tom, first of all, thanks for having us here. Welcome to the good side.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are, well, I won't go any further. But you haven't watched a ton of it, but certainly when you trade out Harrison Barnes, with no disrespect, for Kevin Durant, I mean, that's a pretty big, substantial improvement, I think, for the Warriors. And they just have so many different guys. Last year, yes, when the Cavs won it, you could really just try to lock down on Curry and Thompson. And now you try to do that, and it's just Draymond Green gets loose, and Iguodala, and certainly KD. And so they're a lot of fun to watch.
They really are. I mean, it's not even fair, though. You would think a team with LeBron and Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving would be unbeatable, but Golden State's making them look silly right now.
Yeah, well, I feel like even the backup players for Golden State are playing such good defense on LeBron, and Draymond Green's really stepping up. They just have so many backup players that have really stepped up and made plays when they need it, and I just don't think the Cavs have had that other support like the Golden State Warriors. I
may or may not have a wager that Cleveland will win one game, that Golden State won't sweep them, but you think Cleveland can even win a game at home coming up here?
I think they will, but we're talking about KD. I think the thing that goes unrecognized, Steph Curry has a triple-double in Game 2,
yeah,
right? When's the last time he's done that? And then KD defensively, like there's a lot of times he's the quote-unquote five-man on the floor. Mm-hmm. He's a 6'11", longer than long, rim protector, guarding 1 through 5, and it just gives them so much more versatility to be that much better, especially on the defensive end.
Are we in an era where players are better? I mean, is this team, Golden State team, going back to even the 80s with the Lakers and the Celtics and Michael Jordan's teams with the Bulls, you think Golden State is as good as any of those or better? You might have the only perspective.
Well, I think they could be. I mean, they haven't won it yet. And so, they won it 2 years ago. Last year they set the NBA record, right, with wins in a regular season. And we were all having this conversation at about this time last year when they were up 3 games to 1.
Yeah.
And so certainly I think they're a better team this year than they were last year. But time will tell that. I think they're very, very good. Personally, I'm going for the Cavs because I think they kind of walk around. I think the Warriors kind of walk around with like this arrogance and almost sense of entitlement. And it's like at the end of the day, you've only won one up to this point. So we'll see over time. But they certainly, I think, have that capability to do that if they can keep them all together.
I just want the games to be good. I just want to watch a game that's not 15 points in the fourth quarter, and we'll see if Cleveland can do that. All right, let's talk a little bit about the state of the University of South Dakota basketball programs. Craig, just back to you quick with going into your 4th year here coming up this fall. Where's the program at right now, and what's going on with Coyote basketball?
Well, I'm really excited about the direction of our program, and I'm really excited about the direction of the university and our athletic department as a whole. There's never been a better time to be at the University of South Dakota, and these guys had a big part in that, without a question. And I think these guys, when I say these guys, our women's basketball team winning the NIT championship really reinvigorated our fan base, got people really excited and on board, and really gave us, as a university and an athletic department, a lot of momentum to build off of. And it was really fun watching their careers for 2 years. And I thought it was only going to be one for you.
Yeah.
But we got that other year back. But I'm excited where our program is going. Obviously winning the Summit League championship last year. in setting a record for wins in the Division I era on the men's basketball side and gaining postseason berth. But our guys are really, really hungry. We got a bunch of guys back in the gym and back in Vermilion a lot earlier than they need to be on their own. And that's when you know you got the makings in place to build something special over the long haul.
Nicole and Kelly, just the women's program in general. Don Plitzwhite takes over this past season and keeps things going, but you guys really left a legacy there, winning the NIT National Championship. What do you think the program is? What's the state of the women's program at USD?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better career when I was there, and it's definitely on the way up. I think I really appreciate, I guess, Coach Williams, what she did for our program and just kind of bringing that kind of family culture to our program, and I think that really spread through the community. And so I think now with Dawn taking over, she's really got that same kind of mindset with the whole family thing, and they did really great this year. I think better than what a lot of people expected with such a young team and just, I guess, kind of inexperienced team. But, they're only going to keep getting better and better. Coach Dawn, her first season. And, when you come in for the first season, it's always going to be hard to kind of adjust with players and for the coaches. But I think she really took over it and the girls really accepted her, and obviously it showed.
Yeah, it's going in good direction,
Yeah.
isn't it? Stuart, you think so?
Yeah, I mean, going off what Nicole said, this is a team that graduated 4 of our starters, and then Caitlin Duffy was out, so they really lost 5 starters. And then you got people like Allison Arns, who played, I think it was 8.5 minutes a game last year and just comes out, has the year she has. I mean, JC Bradley, they were so young. And like Nicole said, they weren't expected to do that well. And then on the last day of conference play, they're playing for a chance at a share of the conference championship. So it was just kind of fun to see the girls really, I don't want to toot our own horns, but pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at our team and our
Off camera,
senior.
you always toot your own horn.
I
don't know what you're talking
well, now
about.
I have to act like I don't brag. But, I mean, our whole senior year, all the players that we saw playing this past year at USD, they're the players that made us better in practice. They were going hard against us every day. And just, you could really tell when they got their time to shine, they were ready for it. So.
All right. Kelly Stewart could have gone and played overseas, played professional basketball. Nicole Seekamp is right now, played in Poland. We're going to talk about what that was like when we come back. It sounds romantic to play overseas and play professional. Is it? We'll talk about that when we come back.
Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome back to Benchwarmers here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Sioux Falls and our USD Coyote crew here. Let's talk about Nicole Seecamp, one of the all-time greats at the University of South Dakota. You played professionally in Poland last year. What was the name of the town you played in?
Gorzów Wielkopolski.
Gorzów, and you're not even sure what the name of the team was?
It's like a bunch of letters, like AZS, PWSC, Gorzów Wielkopolski.
Okay.
I don't even know what it stands for. Don't ask me.
All right. What was the experience like, though? We make it out. I mean, I look at anybody that goes overseas and plays basketball after college as just this romantic experience. Was it playing in Poland?
It was different. It was a lot different than I expected. Just the town itself, I was in a town of about 140,000 people. Okay. And because it was winter, it was just, my vision of it is just gray. Like the buildings are really old.
Was it?
Yeah. There's no sunshine.
So it's exactly what all of us Westerners envision, right?
Yeah. Just because it's so old, I think the buildings were back from during the war, and my town is a really old town with the people. There's not a lot of young people in it, so there's a lot of Russians, Polish people. So getting around was kind of tough because not a lot of people spoke English. About 30% of people spoke English there. And then the basketball side of it, I mean, it was good competition. The league was, pretty good. But it's just different how they their style of coaching and all that kind of stuff. So it was definitely an experience for my rookie year. I kind of felt like I had an inconsistent year personally, but I mean, it still wasn't terrible. But it's just, I think just going from 4 years of college with you have a family to going somewhere where I don't know anyone, can't speak the language. It's just
another thing that's totally different.
Yeah.
So nobody, did you have an interpreter with the coach? Was the coach Polish? Was it?
Yeah, he's actually, I think he's originally from Russia, and so he can speak Polish and Russian, and then a little bit of English. So he could speak English terms for basketball.
All right.
But sometimes what he thought he was trying to say wasn't really what it meant in English. So I was like, all right, I'll pick up on it eventually. So yeah, it was different. But we had one teammate that spoke really good English, so I could have a conversation normally with her.
Yeah.
But then she wouldn't get some of the slang terms that I would use. And then the rest of them spoke not so great. Like, it was very hard to have conversations because they would be like looking at me like, what are you saying? I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Nicole, shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, the town you were in is about 50 miles from Berlin, just to kind of give you an idea of where we are. And that's another thing you talk about, going to Europe. And did you go visit places like Berlin and around Europe?
Yep. So it was like a 2-hour train trip to Berlin. So we went there a couple times, and flying over there is so cheap. We had a week off in November, so my boyfriend and I went to London and Dublin. I think the flight from London to Dublin was $10. Like,
really?
It was just so cheap. And then at Christmas we went to Paris with his family. So it was nice to do a bit of traveling while we're there. So
sounds like a beautiful experience. And I know you've had guys that have gone and played. And am I wrong about this? If I had the opportunity, I would do it in a second. And I know you were the other way though, Kelly. You had some chances to go play and said, I'm done, right?
I mean, not totally serious chance, but an agent reached out to me on Facebook and said, like, hey, there's teams overseas I could hook you up with. And granted, you got to be careful when an agent messages you on Facebook. But I was just kind of ready to start my career, and I think I was just so satisfied with how we went out that I was ready for Midco SN.
Yes.
So,
Well, that explains that. So. Do you encourage guys, if a guy would come to you and say, I want to go play overseas, does it vary by individual, I would guess, but it sounds like such a great opportunity.
Yeah, it's so different for everybody. There's guys that are ready just to be an adult, and not to not be an adult, but get out and just start working, right? And they're so ready. You see some seniors where in the middle of January, they can't wait to move on to grad school or to start working and getting a paycheck and just moving on with their life. Then you have some guys like Tyler Larson who went through some injury issues, right? And I think he just completely rediscovered his love for the game. He played 2 years of junior college, then was out a full year, and then played a half a year, and then had a phenomenal senior year. And I think that guy will play till literally he can't play anymore. Yeah. And then you have a guy like Casey Kasperbauer, who was right in the middle. He loves to play. He loved the college experience. And he loves basketball like no other, but we had so many conversations, and he wants to be a coach. Like, he wants to be a college coach or an NBA coach someday, so he didn't know which direction to go. And the advice that I try to give players is, you're only a player once, and I think you have to get that out of your system before you move on. And Casey had a good year this year. We stayed in touch a lot, but I think, though he was in Georgia, and it was just very, didn't know a ton of people, and very, you play one game and you practice the other 6 days, right? And it just got to be really long for him with the language barrier. And I think now he did it, he knows what it's like, and he's ready to move full steam ahead into coaching now, and he's going to be a heck of a coach soon. I got a couple questions for her though. Yeah. Did you ever run into Soda Popinski from Knockout, the Mike Tyson, the old Nintendo?
Can't say I
Big,
have.
tall, white, bald guy. You didn't see him around?
Sorry.
Thick?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I said
like
big and strong is what I said. Not.
oh my God.
No, I didn't. Sorry.
How do you say in Polish? Put another shrimp on the barbell.
Oh my God.
Can you say that?
I didn't learn that one.
You
Sorry.
didn't?
No.
I know, it's so original, I know, but I thought you might know that one.
Speaking of which, though, you're going home
Yes.
this fall to play in Australia, right? Where at?
Yes. Adelaide. It's about 3 hours west of where I grew up. I used to live there for a couple years before I came to college, so I'm really excited to get back home. It's been 7 years since I've lived back in Australia, so it's going to be nice to just be around family and friends for a little bit.
And Adelaide is right on the southern coast of Australia.
Yes.
It sounds beautiful.
I will be living about 5-10 minute drive from the beach, and it will be summer, so
Oh my God.
I'm not complaining.
I am totally envious. And,
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about the USD men. They will play a couple of really spectacular games on the road this year. One of them is at Duke. We're going to talk about that when we come back.
Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome back to Benchwarmers. Let's talk about the University of South Dakota men's basketball team. A game coming up on December 2nd at Duke University. How did this come about?
A lot of persistence and some good luck, some good fortune. The day I got hired, little backstory, we played there when I was an assistant at Colorado State.
Okay.
And you get the Cameron crazies doing the thing. We actually had a guy that was a walk-on for us, a senior, started his first game. We had a guy that was out with a concussion, so he started his first game at Cameron Indoor against Duke.
Nice.
And there was a great picture on ESPN.com with the the crazies doing their little spell or whatever on Kaipo Kabas was his name. So it was kind of a cool thing. But literally my first day on the job, I emailed Duke and tried to schedule the game and been persistent with it between Eric Peterson, our scheduling coach, and myself, annually doing that. And usually it's crickets, no response, no response, no response. And then last year we had a little bit of dialogue with them. And then Bobby Hurley's a friend of ours. And I talked to him in Las Vegas at an AAU tournament, just asked if he knew the associate AD that does the scheduling. And I think he helped put in a good word. And then, quite frankly, there's a website that you can advertise games that you're trying to get. So we put out a advertisement saying we needed to get a game and get paid to go play them. Like we have to raise a certain amount of money for our department and go do that. And so literally 10 minutes after we posted it, Duke reached out to us. And Eric sent me a text, hey, do you want to play Duke? And I'm like, quit messing around. I use a few different words, but don't mess with me, basically, right? And he goes, no, coach, I'm serious. They're interested in playing. I'm like, HE double hockey stick, yeah, let's do it. And they said, okay, it's you and one other team. And then within 24 hours, they agreed and they sent the contract and it was done. So I think there was some good fortune there with timing and having the corresponding date. But also, I think just the persistence over 3 years of trying to get that game.
Very cool. December 2nd, again, at Duke. And we've talked about this in the office a little bit. Is there a league-wide effort to maybe go out and play these games? Does it do anything for RPI, or is this just a cool experience for your team? And like you said, it's a payday game, but what's the reasoning behind getting these games? Well,
certainly for us, I want to... So much of the college experience it's the experiences that you gain and the relationships that you make, right, that last a lifetime. And truly, for me, that's what it's about. Now, we got to win games or we're not going to be around real long. So you got to be able to balance both of those. So why wouldn't you, our guys for the rest of their life will remember playing at Duke. Yeah. And it sounds like a phenomenal idea right now. It might be interesting about 20 minutes into the game, if that long, kind of like Gonzaga was last year. But that's what the college experience is about, those kind of experiences that you gain. And our guys forever are going to be able to say, I played on that floor with the legendary Mike Krzyzewski, and I can't thank Coach K enough for allowing our program the opportunity to go play that game. So is it a league-wide initiative? I don't think so, but I think it's something that certainly helps your RPI, and I think it raises your brand locally and nationally.
And hold that thought on how the game's going to go. When we come back, we got a winging it question from the crowd about what the Coyotes can do against Duke when they play this game.
Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings. Time for our Winging It question of the week. Here's Carla Metz.
Hey, Tom, I'm here with Jordan Johnson. He's from Sioux Falls. And now, Jordan, you're a lifelong Duke fan, so this question that you have is going to be pretty applicable for Craig Smith upstairs. So what's your question for them?
How is going to Durham beneficial for your program?
All right, Tom, let's see what they say.
All right, Coach. Jordan wants to know how the Coyotes are going to hang with Duke once you get on the floor for this game.
Well, that's a great question. It's interesting getting ready for this game. They've lost so many guys to the NBA draft early, and within about a 6-day span, they signed 3 guys that were ranked in the top 50 high school kids that are going to be future NBA guys. So hopefully they'll be really inexperienced and don't really gel together at that point. But you know what? That'll be December 2nd. We'll have about a month leading into that. Our guys are going to be so fired up for that game and that opportunity. And all we can do is go out and play our best basketball. And, there's a way to win every game that you play. There's a way to be successful that way. And so we're going to find a way to win, and that's our goal going into every game. And we're just so excited about this opportunity. This truly is going to be a game that our guys in our program will remember forever.
One note, Duke has won an NCAA record 132 consecutive home games against non-conference opponents. Just so you know that.
You know what, though? Streaks are made to be broken. And if I remember, a couple years ago, we University of Minnesota had just beaten Clemson. They have the second longest winning streak in the country, and we were able to beat that streak. So, you know what? Maybe we can do it again.
All right, that's right. When we come back, our poll question of the week. Who has the best chance to win the regular season Summer League Championship in men's and women's basketball this coming season?
Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome back. Our poll question this week: which Summit League program has the best chance this coming year to win both the regular season titles in men's and women's basketball? We put it out there on Facebook and Twitter and here at Buffalo Wild Wings. Over 600 votes, about 80% in favor of South Dakota State, about 20% for the Coyotes. We can agree on this. I know who you guys would vote for, but we can agree on this. Those are going to be some good games on both the men's and women's side between USD and South Dakota State this year.
Yeah, I think you look at both programs, and both are quality programs. On the women's side, both have been very, very, very good for a long time, and I think Coach P is really excited about her team coming back. And on the men's side, we've been kind of on the short end of the stick for quite some time, but we're really excited that the strides that we've made. And last year, played each other 3 times, and they got the best out of us 2 times, but when you add up the 2 scores, it was tied. We won by 2, they won by 1 twice. And so it's about as even as it gets.
It's going to be great. Have a great season. Have fun in Australia.
Yeah, thanks.
Good luck to you. We'll see you next week in Grand Forks here on Benchwarmers.